My daughter called me to tell me that Cicely Tyson had died. It was like a bit strange. I asked her, who's Cicely Tyson? Because the interview that I saw she had with Gayle King was still so vivid in my mind. And I was looking at her and she was speaking about her life, and even she spoke about death because Gayle had asked her a question. But somewhere in my mindset, I could not have imagined of hearing her dying. Who knows? I started, was it an accident? Kenya said, I don't know, Mommy. I just heard that she died. And right away, her death brought something to mind, because the interview that I saw, she was talking about her book that she had just published. And after I got over this whole initial thing of her dying, the next thought crossed my mind was, she was able to do it. She told her story, then God took her home. In this week's video, I will be talking about two of my regrets. One, I could correct. The next one, I just can't, and it's the most painful one. And one of my wishes, just for the heck of it. So, let's go. Hello, my name is Paula Simon, a believer who 25 plus years ago made a decision that changed my life, strengthened my faith, and led to a closer walk with God. This is a platform that encourages women to be more proactive in their lives and embrace changes one step at a time. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're a returning visitor or subscriber, welcome also. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button, because every Monday a new video will be coming up, and I would like you to be part of it. As I said in the introduction, is that we mourn the loss of Cicely Tyson. She lived long, 96 years old, and most of all, she had all her faculty. Seeing her sitting there speaking with Gayle and reminiscing about her past, even a painful past, that she was able to mourn, because she said she never cried about it before, an early Me Too situation that she had. But she then shed a tear for it, and she talked about her life. So when my daughter told me that she died, it was, I said, but I just saw her. She seems to be okay. But then the next thing that crossed my mind is that she did it. She told her story. It wasn't no clip from somebody writing it after she passed away. There was a clip from an interview, and they look at movies that she made and interview friends to write her story. No, she did it. I don't know how long God was talking to her about writing her story. Who knows, he might have told her just the minute he gave her the inspiration to do it, she wrote it. I don't know. But one thing I know for certain, that he allowed her to live, to talk her own story, to give her own version of her experiences. And then he called her away. Right now, I'm in the process of finding out more about my great-grandmother. And it's a very hard process. And it will be tedious because I have zero information. But when I was smaller or younger, and my mom was alive, she had a way of sharing information, which was very, very rare for her generation. You see, my mother born in 1923. And women, or people in whole, men and women of that time, never talk. You never share certain information, especially if it's a painful one. No one would say anything. I even met someone who said he didn't know how old his aunt, her real age, because she had 3 birth certificates. So he don't know which one is real. She never said. And at the point of I getting to know the family, she had Alzheimer's. So there's no way she was able to tell him anything. So he just don't know. My mother was different. My mother shared her joy, she shared her aspirations, she shared all the hardships she went through. But at that time, I could not have appreciated what was being offered to me. So at times I find, oh, mommy keep repeating the same story. She keeps saying the same thing. Honestly, guys, I really and truly wish that even if she could have interpreted to us to let us know how important, I guess she didn't even realize it. She was just sharing it with us. How important for us to have that kind of information. So what I'll do now, I will share with my daughter. And hoping that as my granddaughter grows older, she in turn will share with her. I don't want her to be in the position that I'm in now, not knowing. And she's seen it when I'm talking about not knowing anything about nothing much about my grandmother. And my great-grandmother is even worse. But hear what Cicely did. I don't know if she was one to talk a lot with her. She have a daughter, which she didn't want to talk much about, or any one of her family or close friends. But she's having it documented. And guys, for me, any situation that happened, be it good or bad, be it on a personal basis or like international, I always look for the lesson that I could learn from that situation. And what I learned from Cicely Tyson's death is that we have this opportunity now. You see the beauty about it, guys. This is something we don't like to talk about, but it's going to happen. We will plan a vacation, we'll plan to get married, we'll plan to retire, but we don't want to talk about it. And it is very funny because regardless, as believers, we pray to God for long life. None of us is hanging around here forever. Regardless of how long, even in the biblical days, they had people who they said live 400 years. But you know, at the end of all of that time, they all die. So we all is going to die at some time or the other. That is the easy part. The hard part is that we don't know when and how. So since we do not have the luxury of knowing when God is going to take us up from here, we should start sharing. We're in a time where we focus on all that is lacking, in the sense, oh, I can't go out, I can't go to my favorite restaurant, I can't go on my little vacation as much as before, I'm not seeing my loved ones, every time I go out, I have to wear masks, all of these other restrictions, and we focus on the lack without focusing, and we're really and truly missing out on this downtime or missing out on this opportunity. So here we could do as our brave and bold women, start sharing our situations, start sharing our lives. Let our children and our grandchildren know, or if you have you mightn't have children and grandchildren, you will have a friend. Or if you don't have anyone that you're even comfortable with, start documenting it. Don't let someone else tell your story. We all might not be as famous as Cicely Tyson. I know for certain I'm not. I don't know who might be looking at this video. You might be. She had a story and she did not allow anyone else to tell her story. Who knows? It might turn into movies. Taking into consideration who are her friends. She have Tyler Perry, she have Oprah Winfrey, she have Shonda Rhimes, Ava DuVernay. Viola Davis had played her daughter in How to Get Away with Murder. Who knows? She might even be Cicely Tyson in a movie. But so she had all of that. We might not have the movie that will be part of our lives. But you know what? We have a story. And the mere fact that God has us here, that means He has something important for us. And that means we are part of His plan. We're the intricate part and the part that He needs in order to carry out His plan. We are His foot soldiers. So as God give you an experience, as God give you a trial that you overcome, or He give you something to be happy about, we should be sharing it. Don't let our children or our grandchildren, I don't know, I don't know when really mommy born, or I can't say anything about mommy in her school age. I don't know. Don't let our children and our grandchildren be the ones that don't know. They came from an era where you might have parents who never talk. But this is a different time. Let us share. And in the process, we will able to better educate our young ones, and then they would learn so much because they have our story as a frame of reference, because they know us personally. We will read Cicely Tyson's story or any one of those celebrities. We don't know them personally, but your daughter, your son, or your niece or nephew knows you. So when you tell them that I overcome this, they could see it being possible for them. It's not someone out there. It's someone that they break bread with. It's someone that they know personally. There's someone that they had shared or spent time with. So it's so much important for us to share our story. As I said, this is one of my greatest regrets. I don't have much regrets in life. I think I have two. One is that, and that one is the most painful one, because I cannot speak to my mom anymore. All her brothers and sisters die. And there's very few information out there. So that is painful. My other little regret is that I never learned to dressmaking, which I could rectify right now. But on a serious note, guys, we have to look at this situation. We have to look at where we are now. And in a weird way, and I'm not trying to offend anyone or step on your toes if you had lose a loved one, but it is a blessing. Because of this downtime, because we're not running helter-skelter, spending hours driving back and forth, or running on the train in New York or wherever you're living or you're working. Some of us is working from at home. Some don't even have a job. But this time, don't look at all that is lacking. Don't look at all what's going wrong. Look for, as I always said, the minute thing that you could be grateful for. And tell yourself that this pandemic have to work for me. I cannot control the virus and all the different variants to the virus. Every time you're hearing a different one. I cannot control who will get vaccine and who won't get vaccine, whether the vaccine would be there. You cannot control the person whether or not they want to adhere to the CDC guidance and use the mask or wash their hands. There's so much you cannot control, but a lot you can. And perhaps in the first time in your adult life or your working life, you have time. Don't let us waste that time. Let us use that time for our benefit. So when we look back at this time, because things is going to change. Things will never go back to normal. This virus come and it's going to make a change. Chances are it might die down, less people dying from it, but it will be always there. And because of that, it will have the science community and us also on our P's and Q's, because we never know when that one or a different one going to raise its head. I think this is a forewarning. Things change. It is not going back to the way it is. And the sooner we realize that, it will be better for all of us. But this new change comes with its own perks. If we just sit and look for it. If we look for the good in it, we would find it. So use this extra time to share with your family. Use this extra time to plot whatever change you want in your life, because God is giving us there. And in the midst of all of this, I can't do this, I can't go there, and all of this supposed lack, and we lean on God, He will give us the guidance. He would make this lemon not even to lemonade with a whole lot of other stuff. Who knows? A lemon meringue pie also. But God is going to work it out for us. So, but the onus on us is to lean on Him and to see it. And let some of the things that especially we can't control, let's stay at bay. And we focus on what God tells us. And we'll be able to write our own story. Not only the past, what happened, but be able to write our own story now. Because I said it then, I will say it now, and I will always say it. If God have you here, it's because he have a plan for you. The only reason he have you here still on earth is because he had a plan for you. And based on what we've seen, perhaps the only thing God was waiting for Cicely Tyson to do is to write her own story. He didn't want anyone else to write it. He said, Cicely, I'm going to allow you to write your own story. I'm going to give you an opportunity to promote it even for a short while. And then you know what, my child? I'm going to take you home. So since we don't know where we're going, we know for certain God have us on this earth for some reason. We just got to seek him and trust him to tell us what it is. So guys, if this video has been any help to you, please let me know. Don't forget to write a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification button. So guys, have a blessed week. I hope you continue to work on your goals and you're asking God for guidance and direction. So have a blessed week and see you next week. Bye.